I would like to welcome you all. Bienvenidos, bienvenidas. This is going to be hopefully an informative and engaging webinar where you will learn how it is to study Spanish at the University of Sydney. Before we continue, I would like to make an acknowledgement to the traditional custodians of our campus. So we acknowledge the tradition of custodianship and law of the country on which the University of Sydney campuses stand. We pay our respects to those who have cared and continue to care for country. I am currently situated on Darwin land in south of Sydney. So we would like first to tell you a little bit of who we are. So my name is Fernanda Penaloza. I'm the undergraduate coordinator for the Department of Spanish and Latin American Studies, and I am a senior lecturer in Latin American Studies. My co-presenter is Dr. Beatriz Carbajal. Do you want to present yourself, Beatriz?
Hello everyone, hola a todos, bienvenidos, bienvenidas. My name is Beatriz Carbajal. I am a lecturer at the Spanish and Latin American Studies Department at the University of Sydney. And I am thrilled to be here with you today to share some information about our department and hear about your questions. Thanks, Fernanda.
Gracias, Beatriz. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to give you a bit of an overview of what does it mean to study Spanish in our department, and then Beatriz will run a session which will give you a better idea of how our class is conducted and what kind of content you might study if you join us, which of course we hope you will. So the structure of our program, of our curriculum, is divided in what we call core units and elective units. Within the core units, we have 10 levels of Spanish language proficiency, which gives you a whole range from absolute beginners to almost native proficiency. So from the elective units, you can choose different topics. The whole program is informed by the different areas of expertise of our academic staff, and we teach in areas such as film, indigenous movements, popular culture, nationalism, all kinds of different topics that are also part of the core units content. Our department offers a very unique program which fully integrates language and culture. A lot of programs out there claim to do this, but we know that we have developed a curriculum that actually does this quite effectively. And the reason for that is that because we have developed 6 different modules, which are the same modules that you will find across those 10 levels of language proficiency I was referring to before. Spanish language is our vehicle for us to discuss a wide range of topics such as race, ethnicity, belief systems, popular culture, and so on and so forth. The different modules that we have are languages, borders, bodies, emotions, memories, and identities. And today you will have the opportunity to see how that works, because Beatriz will show you, give you a demonstration of how we would approach the module of borders. We are very proud of our program. We have been named by the Australian as the leading institution in Australia for Latin American studies. So we really know what we are doing in our department. Can we see the other slide? Thank you, Beatriz. So there are different pathways that you can choose, and all this might seem a little bit confusing. So if you have questions, please ask us. But basically, you can start as an absolute beginner, as I just said before. You can start as an intermediate student or as an advanced student. And you can really have a very tailor-made experience across the department. And for that, to identify what is the most suitable level, we assess your level before commencing. So it's very important that you communicate with us if you are interested in joining our department, which we hope you will. Thank you, Beatriz. Gracias.
Gracias, Fernanda. Hola a todos y gracias por vuestra atención. Hi, everyone, and thank you for your attention. Of the 6 thematic modules mentioned by my colleague Fernanda, today's taster is about borders. In Spanish, fronteras. The taster will be in Spanish, but you don't need to understand everything I say, as there are mixed levels in the audience. Everything I say will be subtitled in Spanish and in English in the slides. We will be talking about borders in the Spanish-speaking world in relation to the uses of es and está, equivalents to the English to be. I will introduce some concepts, and I will provide you with 3 questions that you will be able to answer in the polls section of Slido. I will guide you through the steps in the due time, but be ready to use your smartphone or tablet as a secondary device, or to split your laptop screen in 2 parts, whatever suits you best. Let's switch to Spanish now. ¿Qué piensas cuando hablamos de fronteras? ¿Viajar? ¿Geografía y mapas? ¿Hablar una lengua? ¿Sabías que puedes viajar a 21 países hispanohablantes? En geografía y mapas, Colombia es el segundo país con más biodiversidad en el mundo. Y en lenguas, Estados Unidos será el país con más hablantes de español en 2050. Let's explore how much you know about borders in the Spanish-speaking world. ¿Dónde está la frontera con más cruces del mundo hispanohablante? In English, where is the border with the most crossings in the Spanish-speaking world? ¿Entre Chile y Argentina? ¿Entre Estados Unidos y México? ¿O entre España y Marruecos? We're going to have a go at Slido. On your phone, type LAS 2020 and MON for Monday. Let's have a go. We have 30 seconds now. ¿Dónde está la frontera con más cruces del mundo hispanohablante? ¿Está entre Chile y Argentina? ¿Está entre Estados Unidos y México? ¿O está entre España y Marruecos? 4 seconds. Counting down. Let's see. The majority of answers says está entre Chile y Argentina. Located between Chile and Argentina. And also we have some answers for Estados Unidos y México. So let's see what's the correct answer. La frontera con más cruces del mundo está entre Estados Unidos y México. Now, we can move to the next question. El español es la lengua oficial de 21 países. But here comes my question for you. ¿Cuál de estos países es hispanohablante? ¿Surinam? ¿Brasil? ¿O Guinea Ecuatorial? ¿Cuál de estos países es hispanohablante? ¿Surinam? ¿Brasil? ¿O Guinea Ecuatorial? Okay, that was a quick one to answer. You answered it before you ran out of time. And the majority of answers says Guinea Ecuatorial. Buen trabajo. Well done. Because the correct answer is, as you guess, Guinea Ecuatorial es hispanohablante. Although it doesn't appear in many textbooks as a language variety, which is a bit of a shame. Would be great to have more representation. Now, let me introduce you to Rigoberta Menchú. Rigoberta Menchú ganó el Premio Nobel de la Paz en 1992. With this hint in mind, my question is, ¿cuál es la profesión de Rigoberta? ¿Cuál es la profesión de Rigoberta? ¿Rigoberta es abogada? ¿A lawyer? ¿Rigoberta es activista? ¿An activist? ¿O Rigoberta es profesora? ¿A teacher? What do you think? Rigoberta es activista. Buen trabajo. Bien, y la respuesta correcta es, efectivamente, Rigoberta Menchú es activista. Rigoberta promovió la presencia de defensores de los derechos humanos en la frontera de Guatemala con México. Rigoberta is related to the thematic module of borders that we're looking at today because she promoted the presence of human rights defenders on the border with, of Guatemala with Mexico to protect migrants. So let's recap what these 3 questions and their answers illustrate in terms of grammar. ¿Cuándo usamos es y cuándo usamos está? Usamos está para localizaciones en el mapa, locations in the map. For instance, la frontera con más cruces del mundo está entre Estados Unidos y México. Y usamos es para descripciones de características, como nacionalidades y profesiones. Descriptions of characteristics, such as nationalities and professions. Por ejemplo, Guinea Ecuatorial es hispanohablante o Rigoberta Menchú es activista. Rigoberta, in this list, Rigoberta Menchú represents our thematic module for fronteras, borders. We have learned that Rigoberta es activista, profession, y está en Guatemala, location. If you would like to meet more personalities related to our modules, here's a list to explore them in your own time. And a suggested application of es and está. Selecciona 2 personajes de la lista e investiga cuál es su profesión y dónde están. Escribe una frase con es y está. We hope that selecting 2 personalities from the list, researching on these 2 questions and on their contributions to their communities can whet your appetite for further learning about Spanish and Latin American cultures and languages. And with this suggestion, we will close the taster section. And following this taster, we're gonna move on to hear our students' experiences reflecting on Spanish vocabulary. El inglés ha tomado muchas palabras del español. Some of the words borrowed from Spanish include brisa, vainilla, plaza, aguacate, cucaracha, o patio. But aside from these words, we would like to hear about your favorite words. ¿Cuál es tu palabra favorita en español? Write down your favorite word in Slido. We will collaboratively build a word cloud and have a look at everyone's favorite words in Spanish. So you need to follow the same steps. We're still on the post section, and you will see the invite in a second as soon as I activate it. Okay, so you can enter as many words as you want. I'm sure even if you haven't studied Spanish before, you know some words for greeting in Spanish, maybe some words related to food or to nature, to animals. Sacapuntas, that's a very good one. Empollón, very good one as well. Mi media naranja, cargo, which we just referred to. Excellent. So we have a compound word here, sacapuntas, which is composed of the verb sacar and puntas, sharpener, related to studies. I love sacapuntas. My pencil is always super sharpened. Mi media naranja is also a very good one. My half orange, my soulmate. Empollón, colloquial language for someone who studies a lot. Música and amor, they both have really good phonetics. Cargo, which we have referred to, is very helpful because similar to cognate words, it can be helpful in recognizing words in Spanish because they are common to English. Okay, this is great to see the variety. Siesta, of course, has to be there. A very good habit, which has been implemented actually in many businesses to improve productivity. Unfortunately for me, I don't have this habit, but it's got many benefits for the health. All right, so we have a great selection here. And after building this word cloud collaboratively, let's hear about Jana's favorite word and her experience studying one of our courses. Jana studied Spanish level 1 with us during this last semester, and she will kindly share what was it like for her.
Hi, I'm Yana, and I'm a first year student at the University of Sydney. My favorite word in Spanish is maquillaje. I like it because it includes some pronunciation rules of the Spanish language, such as que, ya, and je. So it's a nice way for me to remember those whenever I try to speak it. I also really love makeup as a means of self-expression and taking time for myself in the day. What I loved about the Spanish class that I went to was that the structure was really helpful. In Spanish and language and culture class, it was nice because one day we would learn the topics and then the next day we would learn how to apply them, which I found helped me become comfortable in using it quite quickly. I also really like how the topics that we spoke about in class were about ourselves as well as society. So I think it helped me learn how to express myself as well as my ideas and beliefs. It helped me gain an awareness not only of the language that I was speaking, but of the context behind it. It helped me have a better appreciation of it, I guess. I also really loved how in the class we were very supportive of one another and each other's learning. Learning a language can be quite vulnerable because you're prone to making many mistakes. But I think that my teacher and my classmates, we all had this awareness and environment where we just wanted to help each other's learning. So that's what I liked about this class.
So Jana has shared what the beginning of a learning journey with us feels like. And our student Talula is an example of the opportunities that studying at the Spanish and Latin American Studies department can open for you. Tallulah won the United Nations Language Essay Competition in the Spanish category and was invited to speak at the United Nations Global Youth Forum. You can see a quote here that from one of her contributions to the United Nations. And we're very proud of our students' achievements, and we love keeping in touch with them and supporting them. So now that we have introduced our pathways, we have shared a small taster with you and our students' experience, we would like to hear your questions.
Okay, so what Spanish-speaking universities would I be able to go on exchange to once international travel is resumed? Well, as it happens, Beatriz is our exchange coordinator, so you might want to answer this question.
Yeah, thank you, Fernanda. So our partner institutions include the Universidad de Chile in Santiago, Pontificia Universidad Javeriana in Colombia, also Tecnológico de Monterrey in Mexico. We also have partnerships with Pontificia Universidad Católica in Peru, and with 3 universities in Spain, in Madrid, Barcelona, and Valladolid. If you would like to learn about exchange experiences, I suggest that you type study abroad at the University of Sydney. They have a blog that you can follow, and you can also follow their Facebook and Instagram accounts. And on the Instagram account, they have short videos where they show you a bit of their experiences, and they do small posts as well. So that's a good way to have a bit of exploration of that. And of course, the exchange opportunities are not just limited to these universities. I also receive applications from other universities in many Spanish-speaking countries. And because, like we said, Spanish is spoken in 21 countries as an official language, there's a lot of variety to choose. So that's all from me, Fernanda.
Thank you, Beatriz. And that comment leads us to the next question, which is, what's the difference between Spain Spanish and Latin American Spanish? Well, the difference, you can actually think it in terms of what you might encounter in the English-speaking world when you think about the variety of English that you find in the UK in comparison to the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, so on and so forth. As we like to think, all our students, once they enroll with us, they belong to this massive global family of 500 million speakers of Spanish. So they really, the differences are there, but it's really about embracing diversity instead of feeling anxious about it. Language is a living process that constantly changes and gets enriched by the different ways in which people use it. And there's a lot of creativity and ingenuity in the way in which language is developed. And also the fact that in our department, we represent that diversity. We are all native speakers of Spanish, and one of our colleagues who isn't, you wouldn't notice that he isn't. We all speak different variety of Spanish. Not even the people who are from Spain are exactly from the same region. So I'm from Argentina and I speak Argentine Spanish, and Beatriz is from Spain and she speaks Spanish from Spain. So you will have that exposure and you will have that richness in our classes as well. So the next question is, can I do intermediate level if it is suitable for me without, oh, I've lost it. I've lost it, but I think I got it. The idea is that we accept students from all levels. So the thing that you do is to contact us, you tell us, I've got prior knowledge, and what we will do is to arrange for a test which will assess your level of proficiency. This test is nothing to panic about. We have many students doing this test. Everyone has survived it. And what we do is we make a decision based on the performance of the students on that test. And we revisit our decision in the first 2 weeks of semester because they're not bulletproof. So we need to make sure that our students are placed in the right level, not too extremely challenging, not too extremely easy, just right for you so that you can enjoy your studies and have a rewarding experience. So is there a Spanish club at the university? What kind of activities do they organize? And so Beatriz, if you could share with us the slide on the Spanish Society.
Yes, here it is.
So it's called SUSLAS. And they are students like you, only a little bit older because they are at university level. They are very enthusiastic. They organize all kinds of activities. In the current COVID situation, we have all these activities online. And they are extremely dynamic, and they really support our work to create more awareness about the importance of Spanish as one of the main languages in the world.
We're gonna go back to the Q&A.
So what career opportunities can study Spanish lead to? In the past, what we have encountered is that a lot of our students end up working in as public servants in different areas of government where language learning is appreciated as a skill, not only to communicate across cultures and access knowledge produced in other languages, but also as really a skill that demonstrates that you have the ability to be able to understand cross-cultural, intercultural communication. We also have students who have gone to the education sector, NGOs, also the area of law and journalism. Most of our students are, end up doing those careers in what we have seen over the past years, since 2007, which was the year our department was created. So we're still young, dynamic, and we have very successful stories of employment in our cohort of students. Okay, so can you study it as purely an elective or only as a major minor? The choice is yours. We have found that many students come from nursing, from architecture, engineer, the Sydney Con, all different disciplines, and they end up electing Spanish and they want more, so they do a few levels with us. Others do it as a major or combined major. It's really possible to study Spanish in any way you choose to and at any level of proficiency you feel you can achieve. Okay, can you still do a language even if you are doing 2 majors in a Bachelor of Advanced Studies? I'm pretty sure that that's possible. It will depend on the requirements of each major, because the only issue is that sometimes there are certain limits of how many credits can contribute to your majors according to the credits. So, but there's usually a range of possibilities to have a pathway that would allow you to do languages. It's something that the university really encourages. And then finally, what's the difference between Hispanic and Latino? Well, this is for a very long seminar because it's a very interesting question, but it's quite hard to answer it straight away. But Hispanic was actually a term that it was pretty much imposed from governmental agencies in the US. And therefore, some of the communities sort of adopted it as a way to define themselves. Latino has a little bit of more kind of grassroots kind of connotation, and it means very different things depending on the context, because it's not the same to say Latino which broadly means people of Latin American origin in the US than it is to say it here in Australia. I've done some research on that and I'd love to talk more about it, but it's quite a complex question. You're gonna have a chance to get the details to contact us. So I'll be happy to answer that in more detail because it's a very passionate topic.
Yes, Fernanda, and if I may jump in here, actually, we covered this in Spanish level 1. It's actually in the first introductory module, which is about identities. So it's great that there's interest for that because it's exactly what we cover in Spanish level 1.
Well, this other question, how do I study Spanish in Diploma of Language Studies? In terms of the structure, in terms of the content, it's the same, except that it requires less number of credit points. So there is a lot of information on the website of, you know, how many credit points you need for each type of degree, which will define how many electives and how many core units you would have. But in general, to achieve a level of proficiency of Spanish language, you need at least to do 2 units over a 3-year period. But again, there are very specific details of each degrees, including the advanced bachelor's, the Diploma of Language Studies on our website. So I think we have covered all the questions.
Yes, that's correct. That was all the questions that have come up so far. Yes. So we can go back to the presentation.
Yes, perhaps we could just mention a little bit about Surcla. Yeah. As you can see with the Spanish, with SUSLAS, which is the Spanish Club for Students, you have the opportunity to expose yourselves to more cultural events that allow you to engage and interact with other students. We also have in our department a regular calendar of events that is organized by the Sydney University Research Community for Latin America. At the opening, I mentioned that we were named a leading institution in Australia for Latin American studies. And the network has had a very important role in becoming a forum of discussion for different activists, practitioners, and specialists, academics who work or have interest in Latin America. And there are some examples here of the kind of topics that you might be able to learn more just assisting to our seminars. And all students for us, regardless of whether you're doing just 1 unit with us or the whole of your major, they are part not only of those 500 million people, which is quite exciting in itself, but also part of the community of SLAS, of the Sydney, of the Spanish and Latin America Studies Department, and Surcla is part of it. So you would have plenty of opportunities to engage with different aspects of the culture of the Spanish-speaking communities as well in Australia.
Thanks, Fernanda. This is just one more slide that could be useful for one of the questions, a couple of questions that were raised in the Q&A. But like my colleague Fernanda said, there's a lot of information in our website at the University of Sydney. So feel free to go there and also to contact us through our email.
Yes, we are very happy to hear from you. We're extremely busy people, but for us, teaching is really our passion, and we want to have as many Spanish speakers in Australia as possible, and if they study with us, even better. So thank you very much for listening to us. Thank you for your enthusiasm for taking part in this seminar, and we, Beatriz and I, will be very happy to hear from you via email. Our emails are right there, and if you want, you can also Google us and you will find our contact details on the university website.
Thank you very much. Gracias.
Thank you. Gracias. Adiós.